Well, that looks like a great way to start the day or finish the day. Either one, I guess, not good. So this was a brand new tire that's got maybe 10,000 miles on it. I think I looked at about 10,000 miles on it, and the sidewall of it has ripped open. I ran over something in the road, and I guess in the road, or when I pulled over, or maybe when I was leaving where I got loaded, I'm not sure. It had air in it whenever I strapped my load down, and everything looked good, and I did not stop for a good long while, so I don't know how long. I don't know where it went flat or what punctured it or what. There was nothing in the tire, just a hole. I'll try to show the puncture wound shortly, but I think it may be on the bottom there, but we'll get it off. I'll show it to you, or when I get the tire turned around, and maybe you guys can kind of tell me what you think may have run over, because I've run over something before that had a hole in it, looked like that, and I never figured out what it was. But so yeah, this tire has 10,000 miles on it, and I was able to, after I figured out it was flat, it was a little too late, but because the tire's already burned, but I didn't know that at the time. I started airing it back up. I got it to take air after I put a plug in it, and as it started airing up, I started hearing the sidewall popping, and so I stopped putting air in it, and I checked it, and I was around 60 pounds or so, and so I let it be and said, well, that tire's, you know, probably burned, and I'll wait till I get somewhere, because I kind of felt like it was going to blow out when I heard that sidewall popping, and knew it had been run flat for a good long while. And so I left it alone, and now I've made it home, and it did blow out, and so we're going to go ahead and get this thing changed here. But yeah, the sidewall just unzipped on it at some point, and so now we got a flat tire that we got to change here. So I'm going to back up and get this thing on, I guess, a block of wood, and try to change it that way. I usually take the tire all the way off, or the wheel all the way off, but not going to do that this time, I don't think. I think I'm gonna just throw a block of wood down and try to back up on it and go about it that way, and see, may save us a little time, or maybe not. We'll try it anyway. All right, guys, so I don't know if you'll be able to pick this up on camera or not. The lighting is not great right here. I'll try to show it again in a minute, but right there where my finger is at, you see this circular indentation around? Right in the center of it was where the hole was, and as I say, I plugged the hole and got this thing to take air, but I knew it was going to need to be changed, but it was holding air, so I didn't have a load on. I had already delivered by the time I discovered that it was flat. So I don't know how long I ran it flat, and I have no idea what I run over right there to cause that, or where I run over it at. So if you have any idea, ever run over anything that looked like that with that circular pattern around it with a pretty good size hole in the middle, and I say pretty good size because when I put my reaming tool in there to plug it, there was very little resistance. It just went straight in there and straight out, so it had to be a pretty good size hole for that to happen, because like a 1/4 inch bolt going in won't cause that kind of problem, because the tire beside it I had to plug. I had a 1/4 inch, yes, a 1/4 inch, like a band clamp bolt, like off your turbo, that went in it, and it was still stuck in the tire, and I was able to pull it out and ream it and plug it, and it's still holding fine. I caught it in time. This one here I didn't catch in time, and as I say, it ran flat for long enough it ran the tire, and after I got it plugged here, started airing it back up, I started hearing the popping, so I quit airing it back up and figured I didn't have a load on it, and had about 60 or 70 pounds in it, somewhere in there, and figured I would ease onto the house with it, and then it blew out sometime on the trip home there, I suppose, and so that's how I found it. And anyway, I have run over something that looked like this before on a another tire about 6 months ago. It was, the load picked up at a totally different place, delivered at a totally different place, totally different road and everything, but it had a very similar looking hole in it, and had the exact same thing happen to it, and the sidewall of it blew out just like this one did. So I knew when I heard that popping when I was airing it up that, you know, the tire had a problem, was going to need to be replaced. So just be mindful of that. If you're airing up a tire and you start hearing a popping noise, you're probably fixing to have a sidewall failure. But if you have any idea what I could have run over that would cause that circular pattern with a hole in the middle of it, I mean, it looks like somebody started drilling there with a hole saw or something, is about what it looks like. I can't imagine what I would have run over that would cause that and not still be stuck in the tire. Because generally, whenever you run over something like that with these, whatever you run over is still stuck in the tire. So I just have no idea what that could have been right there. But there was a pretty substantial hole there. As I say, I plugged it and then cut the plug off flush with my knife so that it wouldn't pull out there. But anyway, I'm gonna grab some bars and some soapy water or some kind of lubricant over here, whatever I can come up with, spray on this, and see if we can get her pulled off the wheel and hopefully get another one put on right there. So I think I'm just going to use some PB Blaster. I happen to have some there. Soapy water works good for this. Just don't have any soapy water mixed up. So I'm just going to use this for now. It's not really recommended because it can affect the rubber on the tire, but this tire is junk anyway, so I don't suppose it matters. I really don't like doing these this way. I like taking the wheel off because I find it works better for me. But this is definitely an option. See if I can get another bar in here somewhere. Looking like it. And I pull this up on a 4x6 block of wood in order to get on the inside tire in order to get this outside tire off the ground. So you won't be able to get this to come off if you don't do that. Let's see what the best way to get it that way. Somebody calling me. Let me see who that is. Alright, I am back. So we're going to get this tire put in here somewhere, or out here somewhere. Seeing how it's no good. Brand new tire. Darn shame. See where that spot was. I don't even know now. Right there. Not going to tell anything on the bottom side or not. No, not really. Kind of a weird puncture wound though. Alright, we got another brand new tire here gonna go on. I'll 2 more of these to put on the front axle up there, and well, you see how I'm having to use one of them. So we'll put a little tire soap on here. Piece of a leaf in here somewhere. Anyway, that and some vice grips here. Hopefully the vice grips will hold it on the wheel. Side one. There we go. Now then, got to get this thing turned around here so I can get it aired up. I don't know that my bead blaster is going to do any good. Alright guys, I think we're going to roll with the ether because I don't feel like messing around with that air cannon. It's cold out here. Probably need to warm up anyway. Not enough. Put a big gap there. I may have to take a board and pick up on that tire. We gotta let the fire go out for a minute first. this leak a little bit. Trying to get that air chuck on that valve stem where it don't leak, but it's working. It's putting air in there. Alright guys, well, we got the new tire mounted up on there. All I got to do now is pull off my block of wood down there and pick it up. If you guys have any idea what you would run over that would leave a circular mark around the tire like that and a puncture wound on the inside, I would love to know, because 9 times out of 10 when you run over something, it usually gets stuck in the tire, like a bolt or whatever. Like I say, the other day I had a T-bolt off of a band clamp, got stuck in that one, and I caught it in time to save it. But this one here, I didn't catch it in time and run the sucker flat for evidently a long ways. Or well, the one we took off. This is a new one we got on. But I'll walk out here and see if I can find that other one in my stack of tires I got out here that just got a puncture wound similar to the one I just pulled off. Alright guys, so I found this other tire here. This was a puncture wound in it. I plugged it, and you can see the same circular diameter, and it had a puncture wound in the center of it. And if you notice, it's right dead center in the middle of the tire. Like I say, this happened probably 6 or 8 months ago, and completely different place I loaded out of, completely different roads I went down and everything, but it got run flat for a long period of time as well. And you can see what happened when I tried to air it back up after I plugged it. Basically the same failure happened to it right there, except a little bit worse. I think it probably had more air in it when it went out or something. I'm not exactly sure, but that is just really weird to me that the same failure would occur. I don't know if I can take my knife and dig this plug out of here so that you can see the puncture wound a little bit better. Yeah, you can kind of see the same circular pattern right there, almost if it was cut or drilled in there. Kind of weird. But if I remember correctly, whenever I hauled this load here, I think I went straight there. I don't think I stopped and slept anywhere that I remember. I know I remember pulling over on the side of the road and checking the load and everything, and all was good. So I was thinking when this happened that maybe I run over a car part or something. There was a bunch of junk that somebody threw out where I had pulled over. But it's the same exact pattern in the same exact spot on the tread. So I don't know how coincidental that could be. Alright guys, well, I'm fixing to let this thing build some air up and pull up off this block of wood, so I put it up. I guess post your conspiracy theories below on what happened to both of those tires and why they have the same failure point with a puncture wound right dead center of the tread that looks identical. Totally different place. I don't know. I don't think I was stopped anywhere on either trip. I don't think, I didn't do a break on either trip or whatever. I did stop on the shoulder, and check my load that I could have run over something, but totally different spots. So I don't have no idea unless somebody's putting something in the road that would puncture the tire like that. But this is the rear axle of the trailer, so you would have thought the front axle of the trailer would have run over something, but I don't know. Leave your thoughts and comments below, I suppose. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.